Hello, my name is Meerah. I'm a Lorekeeper in Yogg-Sothoth's library, and today I am going to be telling you the story of Krogdalo's children, Arduanatt, Dine, and Doom. So Krogdalo, the spirit of wind and earth, had three children, Arduanatt, Dine, and Doom. The eldest was Arduanatt, the one who resembled the wind. With the two wings attached to its body, Arduanatt could freely soar and glide in the air, bringing her closer to the gods. One day, Arduanatt met and befriended Sakrua, daughter of the sun. Unlike Sakrua, who was just and passionate like the sun, Arduanatt's soul was free-roaming. This caused a lot of quarrels between them. At one point, they had a violent argument, and Sakrua melted the wings off of Arduanatt, causing her to fall from the sky. But this was a very long time ago, and obviously Arduanatt's wings have grown back since then. Dine, the forest's most beloved one, was the second offspring of Krogdalo. With her fearsome golden horn, she protected the woods of Kamasylvia from invaders. Being the protector of the forest, she was loved and worshipped by everyone who lived in Kamasylvia. And at the same time, along her sister Arduanatt was the only one who could get close to Doom. One day, a small snake came to see Dine. With tears in its eyes, the snake looked like it was in desperate need of help. Fooled by the snake, Dine hurriedly strode towards the misty forest. However, the forest was peaceful as usual. Only later, when she returned to find her mother's trace, did she realize that Doom had left the forest and she had been deceived. The thought that she had failed to protect her own family made her despair, and she soon realized she needed to find Doom and bring her back as soon as possible. Leaving her duty of protecting the woods behind, Dine left the forest for the desert in search of her sister. Doom, the Master of Flames, was the youngest among the three children of Krogdalo. Every step she made created searing blaze that burnt everything. Unlike Arduanatt of the Wind, who flew around the skies freely, or Dine of the Earth, forest's most beloved one, Doom was not free from the burden of her own flame. Apart from her sisters, no one would dare come close to Doom because of her power. Because of this, she suffered from loneliness for a long time. There was someone who had been eyeing Doom and her agony. It was Ibador, the serpent of Hadum and protector of the Mirror of the Rift. Ibador said to Doom, "Take a good look at your true self. At the end of the arid desert, there lies a burning hellgate. It is there where you shall meet a person. Weep no more over your bitter loneliness, for one you will meet will understand the way you are. With this companion, you shall be able to run freely across the lands with your blazing inferno." Convinced by Ibador's words, Doom left her mother for the very first time. According to the records, Doom was last seen on a stormy day, disappearing beyond a roaring sandstorm in the desert. And this is where our story as the player begins. We are asked to go find the source of a hot wind blowing across Kamasylvia. We investigate the trace of Krogdalo, and we meet and speak to Arduanatt, who tells us that she could not follow her sisters into the land of dragons because at the time, she did not have wings due to Sakrua's wrath. She gives us one of her feathers and tells us to find her sisters. When we arrive in Dregan at the Kaimot lumber camp, we hear a story about how it was once desolate and covered in ash, but that Dine brought it back to life with her power. We followed Dine and Doom's trail, and it leads us to Ibador. Yes, we actually speak to the Ibador, the one that we hear so much about in Odalida's mythology. They tell us all about how they convinced Doom to go beyond Hell's Gate. From there we follow Dine and Doom's trace to the Illabab Oasis, where we are told that Dine could have perhaps been the one to create the oasis, though the Valencians did not know who or what she was at the time. It's here that we also meet Sakrua, who recognizes Arduanatt's feather. And so after this, Sakrua tells us that the last place she saw the Trail of Doom was at the Gravinia Great Crater. There we find Doom, and she speaks to us and says, "Are you talking about what's beyond Hell's Gate? Well, there was hell indeed. It was difficult for me to even take a step, afraid of the invisible wall put up by the forest and its spirits. I was tempted by the snake and left our mother. But I could not find the person Ibador had mentioned. All there was cries of agony in the burning heat, and that's not what I wanted." I don't know how much time had passed. But I saw Dine when I came back to this world. She was also running through the desert for an eternity, searching and waiting for me. She asked me to return, but I told her I could not. No matter how much time had passed, I could not get along with the others. Perhaps someone who possesses the force of water could tame my flames. What about you? Nobody has ever come this near to me. I didn't have any expectations when I came back into the world, and I've never even dreamt of an encounter like this. You're standing so close to me. Does the heat not affect you? The force within you must be quite powerful. But now is not the time. But I wish one day we could run across the world together. That hot wind blowing to Kamasylvia must have been my longing for home. I'll remember you and find you when the time is right. This is easily my favorite story in all of Black Desert. It is such a shame that it's only once per family, because I would love so much to play through it again. So my Doom horse took 52 taps to awaken, but she was so worth the wait just because of how much I love this story and the mythology behind the dream horses. So give your Doom a head pat and a carrot, and remember that the two of you are meant for one another. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave me a like, and if you have any suggestions for future lore topics, you can drop me a comment. I have a lot more Black Desert lore videos in the works, so if you don't want to miss any of those, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, here in the library.